Hello everyone, and welcome to my CBS Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Daphne worries about losing her marriage because Carter already has a child. Spoilers for the Bold and the Beautiful reveal that Daphne Walton was devastated. Because of her early menopause, she is unlikely to become pregnant. Nevertheless, during her unexpected encounter with Daphne, observers heard Dr. Lee Finnegan say something unique. She informed the devoted wife of Carter Walton that she was unlikely to become pregnant. It's not impossible to be unlikely. As a result, viewers are wondering whether a miracle conception will occur or whether Lee and Steffi Forrester Finnegan's suggested alternatives will eventually be investigated. The addition of Hilaire to the cast has been fantastic. Daphne's enigmatic demeanor, knowledge of fragrances, and classic beauty complemented the personnel at Forrester Creations and gave the program a distinctive touch. At first, Carter didn't fall for Daphne. She was patient, though, and when he recognized she was the woman he wanted to raise a family with, she played a little hard to get. For a considerable amount of time, St. Victor has been portrayed as a destitute bachelor in Los Angeles, California. In hindsight, his numerous stops and starts just indicate that he hasn't found the perfect woman. Carter and Daphne are now facing the first big test of their marriage as their capacity to conceive biological children is in question. Naturally, the Forrester family will support them. In order for Wood to participate in what may be a drawn-out process as a favorable result is sought, her character was obviously incorporated into the diagnosis scenario. There are no known children of Carter. It's always possible that he has a child that he is unaware of, just like other male characters in B&B. That may be the rationale behind the presentation of the current plot. It is possible for viewers to envision a situation in which a lady from Carter's past comes back and admits that she had his child but kept it a secret from him. Daphne would be under a lot of stress and might feel inadequate as a result. Speaking of the aforementioned options, adopting a child would be a much less contentious choice for this couple. In the past, more intricate pregnancy stories have been investigated. Adopting a child, possibly not a baby, would immediately introduce a new character and undoubtedly have a significant impact on Carter and Daphne's lives. When Carter finds out about Daphne's condition, he will be devastated. They might look into getting a second view or try to find a fantastically amicable solution. However, if the unlikely isn't investigated, audiences expect two strong performers to deliver significant scenes. Tissues will be required, just as they were when Daphne sobbed and Steffi consoled her when Lee broke the devastating news. Hopefully, this experience will strengthen Carter and Daphne's bond. The fans would undoubtedly want it to be the beginning of something surprisingly amazing rather than a problem. Sheila's future, medical chaos, and Shin divided. Spoilers for this week's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful point to some crazy turns. To start, what is Daphne Rose Walton's current future? Will Kimberlin Brown's character Sheila Carter obtain her wish? Additionally, although it has nothing to do with fashion, it appears that the Spencer Forrester conflict will intensify. Discover what might happen next in the CBS soap drama by continuing to read. John Finnegan's tough conversation. Let's begin with the obstacle faced by Steffi Forrester Finnegan and John Finnegan. The pair appears to be having a great and satisfying marriage. Sheila now desires access to Hayes Forrester Finnegan and Finn, though. Finn initially insisted to Sheila that Steffi would never pursue it. Finn also warned his biological mother that it would destroy his marriage. But the woman has nothing and no one else to rely on. Ultimately, Finn grudgingly consented to talk to Steffi. But that conversation can make their marriage a nightmare rather than a dream. Finn's mention of Sheila may actually cause Steffi to divorce her spouse once more. But will they be able to make things right this time? The demand of Eric Forrester. Will Spencer and Eric Forrester will engage in a heated altercation? Will cannot fathom his existence without Elector Forrester, regardless of what others may say. The family isn't entirely sure about that, of course. Eric may return home and put an end to Electra's desire to reconcile with Will. Ridge Forrester and Eric believe Will is unsuitable for Electra. However, R.J. Forrester contributed to the formation of that viewpoint. The Forresters might not be so critical of Will if R.J. had ceased provoking so much. In any event, in order to be together, Will and Elektra must fight both of their families. Will Spencer get back up? According to spoilers for the upcoming week of The Bold and the Beautiful, Will might be able to move on with Melissa Dillon. The young man may be forced to leave after Eric interrupts Elektra and Will. How likely is it that Dillon will wait for Will and be willing? Stay tuned to see if that has any bearing on Carter Walton and Daphne Rose Walton's Muriel Hilaire future. Uncovered, will a good family raise a bad seed? Updates and teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful suggest that a covert pregnancy may be imminent. The controversy surrounding this pregnancy could result in a covert adoption. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, will a good family raise a bad seed? A secret pregnancy is revealed. But how likely is it that a disturbed child will meet kind people? Will history repeat itself? To go more into this scandalous rumor, continue reading. Let's begin by talking about Daphne Rose Walton. She's going to the doctor to find out why she can't become pregnant. Lee Finnegan will regretfully tell Daphne that she is unable to conceive naturally. Naturally, it will take some time for Daphne and Carter Walton to come to terms with this startling discovery. Bad news frequently turns into something good in soap operas. Carter has always wanted a family of his own. He always mentioned wanting kids during his engagements, and now that he's married, he can't wait to make that dream come true. The pair will face difficulties as they figure out what to do next. They have a number of choices, each having pros and cons of their own. For the sake of his cherished wife, this can even lead Carter to do a risky and extreme action. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Forrester made a startling disclosure about Melissa Dillon in the episode that aired on Elektra. Elektra told her buddy that she would never be able to reconcile with Will Spencer. The expression in Dillon's eyes is recognizable to fans. She won't be able to help Will, who is devastated. Indeed, it wouldn't be shocking if Dillon became pregnant during an impromptu evening with Will. What are the chances that Dillon would ask Lee for help? Dillon might be adamant that she can't have Will's child, especially if he makes amends with Elektra. In this case, Lee might be able to help Carter and Daphne. Lee may believe that she is dealing with two different problems, but her involvement may make things more complicated. How likely is it that Dillon will be a bad influence and give her child unfavorable traits? To be honest, it shouldn't be too difficult to follow the girl code and not pursue Will. What if Dillon's early suspicions were true and we just haven't realized it yet? Dillon might have a strong desire to give up the child because holding on to it might resemble Luna Nozawa's behavior, which she hated. Women have long been adept at hiding their pregnancies, so it wouldn't be too difficult for her to do the same. However, the question remains, what would happen if Will finally found out he had a child? What would happen if it became out that Carter and Daphne had that bad seed in their family tree? Such revelations have the potential to completely upend their lives, with unexpected turns that keep everyone on edge. Finn puts everything at risk, Steffi blows up, Eric fights Will, and Dillon approaches her. There will be spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Tomorrow's episode will feature a significant argument between John Finn Finnegan and Steffi Forrester Finnegan. Eric Forrester and Will Spencer are still at odds in the meanwhile. Discover what will happen next in the soap opera by continuing to read. Let's start this post with Finn. The doctor is aware of Steffi's feelings about Sheila Carter. He even forewarned his biological mother that Steffi would refuse. Steffi recently discussed Sheila and PTSD. No matter how much Sheila improves, Steffi's experiences cannot be undone. Sheila did some evil things, it wasn't like she interrupted her in traffic. Finn is going to speak with Steffi. But this discussion concerning Steffi has the potential to permanently split the pair. Every time Finn disagreed with Steffi in the past, she would take a break and leave town. Finn would always make any commitment to Steffi by the time she got back. But in some way, this time feels different. I genuinely wonder if Steffi and Finn's marriage will end as a result. It will be fascinating to see how Lee Finnegan responds to all of this. These days, Lee and Sheila almost seem to get along. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that Eric will make a demand. Ridge Forrester was assured by Eric that he would monitor Electra Forrester. But Will Spencer is there when Eric returns home. Will and Eric are still engaged in a heated confrontation. Will finds it absurd that everyone is making decisions about Electra's future. Electra needs to put her foot down, but she isn't doing so. The young man will go to Bikini Bar once Eric gets rid of Will. How likely is it that Melissa Dillon will help Will move on from Electra? I don't think Dillon is a good buddy. In my opinion, Dillon has been waiting for the ideal opportunity to not only win Will over, but also to put herself in a situation where she essentially controls Electra's life. I see it, and I'm really concerned about her long-term intentions for Will. Which plot thread are you most eager to see? Post your opinions in the space provided for comments below. Carter is devastated by Daphne's news and Eric gives Electra the order to cut Will loose. Daphne claims that having to deliver terrible news to Carter hurts her heart. Steffi is confident that he is a loving husband and that they will overcome this together. When Carter enters, he can tell something is awry by his wife's sniffles. Steffi lets them handle it. Daphne apologizes to him, but she is unable to conceive. She wanted nothing more than to have a child with him. He is adamant that this cannot be incorrect. She clarifies that she is going through an early menopause. They haven't been able to conceive because of this. None of this is her fault, he replies, holding her. She sobs that she pursues her aspirations no matter what. She has, for once, been informed that a dream cannot be fulfilled. They have more dreams, and Carter is aware of how awful this is. We have. He sobs. He acknowledges that this is difficult, but they will overcome it. She sobs into his chest. According to Ridge and Eric, John would be pleased with how they are taking care of Electra. Ivy may have approached the situation incorrectly, but she was correct about Will. They discuss how Brooke has been deceived by her family and may never fully recover as they get ready for a video call. She won't return from their couture presentation at the wellness facility. They review the specifics and hope that everything will be ideal for Electra. Eric promises to monitor Electra, and Ridge is certain that she will avoid Will. Will begs Electra to accompany him home, saying, "I miss you, baby." She acknowledges that she thinks about him often, and he responds that since they are in love, nobody should be able to separate them. Ridge claims she can no longer see him, despite her belief that he loves her. Will finds that absurd. Ridge cannot control her because she is not a child. She claims that although they have been kind to her, she is upset and afraid of Will when he was attacking RJ, even though she may not want to accept Ridge. Not that her love for him has ever faded. That's all that matters, he says. She is his angel. He extends his hand to her, but Eric barges in and tells him to go. He is not permitted to be close to Electra. Will believes he is inappropriate. He is accused by Eric of betraying Electra and taking her by surprise. I apologize, but nothing changes. He believed Ridge had made it apparent to her that Spencers are not permitted. Will finds all of this absurd. She is a member of the family, according to Eric, and they have promised to keep her safe. He tells him to leave and won't listen to any justifications. Will won't give up on the greatest thing that has ever happened to her. According to Eric, this is all about her having a good future, thus she must let go of Spencer. He presses her to tell Will to leave and never return. Steffi spends time with Taylor's mother. She recently had a challenging encounter with a close friend. She says it was Daphne while eating a plate of bread. Her menopause is premature. Taylor would be pleased to assist her as well, as she has patients that are struggling with that. She says she needs time to grieve the loss for the time being, but there are alternative ways to have children. Steffi is certain that Carter must be feeling the effects of this as well.